This video will instruct you on how to install and maintain the Enable project. This project was initially worked on by Ivis Rhodes and Absalom Luanda. The first thing you'd want to do is set up your working environment. To run the Meteor framework efficiently, you need a Mac OS. The Meteor framework was specially intended for Mac development systems. Next, you'll need to learn about the Meteor framework. Documentation on the Meteor framework is scarce. However, you can find documentation in the link shown. You could also choose to get the Discover Meteor ebook. Unfortunately, you'd have to buy this ebook. Any more help you require can always be found in Stack Overflow or any other available Meteor forum. The team used WebStorm IDE for coding. You could decide to choose any other IDE, however WebStorm has been tried and tested for this specific project. Below is the JetBrains link to download the IDE, should you choose to do so. We use the GitHub client to create branches, submit pull requests, and fork the master branch. It is a useful tool in development and you will need it for the project. There is a link below to access it. Be sure to download the Mac version. Now that you have set up your operating environment, it's time to complete your setup. Meteor requires installation before you can use the framework. To do this, simply open up a new terminal window, type in the command below and wait for Meteor to install on your system. This may take minutes or seconds but should not yield any problems. After the Meteor installation, you want to download the Enable project. To do this, visit the GitHub link and click on the download button shown. It is located at the bottom right of the page. This may take a while since the project is 170 megabytes in size. The bulk of the project is the .meteor folder that I will discuss in a minute. After the download, extract and save the Enable web folder to any desired location. Be sure you can easily locate it in your terminal, as you will need to go to this folder every time you want to run the application. After this, you are all set up and you can run the application. So how do you run it? Running the application is simple. Open a terminal window, change the directory to the Enable folder you had extracted, and type in the command shown below, /start Meteor. The application will take a while to build up and you can run it on your local host on the 300 port. You can use multiple browsers to view the website. And finally, I will talk about the Enable file structure. Enable is made up of 5 main files. These are the .meteor folder, the client folder, the server folder, the lib folder, and the public folder. The .meteor folder contains the Meteor framework structure and some of the installed packages. It is the largest of the files with about 150 megabytes. You will not need to do any work on the .meteor folder, as this basically contains Meteor file systems. But you do need it to run Enable. All code within this folder was derived from the installation of Meteor as Enable's main framework. The next is the client folder. This contains all client-side code that can be accessed by the client and is rendered on the website browser. The client contains 4 main subsections. The HTML files subsection. This contains numerous files, each containing a HTML template that executes a fragment of code. This is where you will insert your HTML code. There is also a style sheets folder that contains CSS files that dictate the styling of those HTML templates. The JavaScript folder contains the .js files. Each JavaScript file contains template helpers, template events, or template rendered functions. The template helpers are used to define Meteor functions or variables that can be used by the HTML files. The template events describe Meteor events and their appropriate functions, such as a button click resulting in a particular action. The template rendered functions are automatically called when the intended template in a HTML file is rendered. A local collection is also kept client-side for purposes of speed and efficiency. This is the Minimongo database. All schemas that are within the Minimongo DB collections are replicated from the Mongo database. Next is the server folder. This contains all server-side code that is not directly accessible by the client. All code contained in this section runs on the server. Contained within this are three main subcomponents. The main collections, which contains the database information on Nibble 2.0. Some of the main collections that you may have to use are the user data collection, the friends collection, conversations, notifications, and messages collections, and the blog posts and blog categories collections. The difference between the server database and the local one is the presence of the allow, deny, update, insert, and remove functions within the server-side database. These functions are server controlled and used to regulate data manipulation in the databases. Server methods are contained within JavaScript files. These are Meteor methods that can be run on the client when a Meteor call is used. These methods run on the server for purposes of efficiency and safety, at which point the server returns the results to the client. Examples of these methods are the search friends and return results for the friends and blog search respectively. The Twitter keys JSON file is also contained within the server. These are needed by Meteor's Twitter page. The next folder is the lib folder. This component contains all language files used in our localization and the route files used by Meteor to find templates in files. The I18N folder contains 6 main language files: the English, Spanish, Portuguese, German, Italian, and French languages. The routes folder contains the router JavaScript file that has routing information used by Meteor to direct Nibble traffic. Next, we have the public folder, which contains all resources used by Nibble 2.0. They include images and sound files. Images are used in various places around the system. The sound files are used by the sound template for sound notifications. That concludes this video tutorial on installation and maintenance. I hope you understand what we presented. Thank you. Have a good day.